Advertising on Facebook. Hi, I'm Miles Beckler, and in this video you're going to learn how to advertise on Facebook live here in one video. And just a quick moment before we jump in and get to it, a bit about me. So I started advertising on Facebook in 2013, and since then I've spent tens upon tens of thousands of dollars in Facebook pay-per-click ads. That has resulted in literally something like 100,000 subscribers and thousands of customers, and ultimately a multiple six-figure per year business that my wife and I are able to run remotely from anywhere in the world that we choose. Now, I mention this not to impress you, but to impress upon you the power of what we're working with here. This Facebook advertising platform is absolutely revolutionary for many reasons. Now, I do have a full Facebook advertising playlist on my YouTube channel, so if you want to get more detail on any one of these steps that we're going to go through here today in this one video, know that you can go back to my playlist on the Facebook advertising and you can dig in deeper to any one of these steps. And the one other thing before we get going, in conjunction with Facebook advertising, it's really the marketing funnels. The two of those things combined are what have absolutely revolutionized my business. The Facebook advertising is one half, that's the traffic side, and then the marketing funnels is the conversion. That's what actually turns them into leads, and that's what actually turns the leads into customers. I've got a whole playlist on marketing funnels as well. So with that said, let's jump right in and get started. Obviously, we go to Facebook to get started, and we click on the left on the Ads Manager. But we're not going to stop here and jump into the Ads Manager. We want to go with the Power Editor. So you can see it's under my frequently used. If you don't see it there, you would click on All Tools, and then it's under Create and Manage. You have the Power Editor. And it's best to run the Power Editor in Chrome. So now the Power Editor loads, and this is kind of, this is not my business account, it's a personal account, so it's all blank here. And a quick tour for you, just so you can see what we're working with. Here on the left, we have the three levels that Facebook allows us to manage our ads and ad campaigns. There's the campaign, the ad set, and the ad level. So essentially, the campaign is the bucket that holds the entire everything, the whole campaign. The ad sets are our targeting and our budgeting. And then the ads are obviously the advertisements themselves. So let's just jump right in. We're going to click Create a Campaign, and it will bring us into the program here. And it's automatically got me set up here on this Send People to a Destination on or off Facebook. This is essentially cost per click marketing. This is the one I recommend you start with. If you have a seasoned Facebook tracking pixel, or if you have a lot of conversions running through your site already, you can consider this optimized for conversion style of campaign. But I like to start here, and we are going to name our campaign MB for Miles Beckler. That's me, and it is 12/4/2016. So I'll put the date in there, and it is Campaign 1. So I like to name it with the platform, the date, and then a note about the campaign so I can keep them organized, especially if you have multiple websites. Now this has already brought us in the ad set level, so we're already at level number 2, and how it starts is Facebook essentially just gave me everyone in the United States of America from 18 to 65 plus, and that's too much. Now, for the purpose of this and for a lot of my demonstration videos, I'm going to do a personal development brand. I'm going to focus this in on a personal development niche, and my ad will be for a theoretical mock personal development product. This isn't my niche, but this is something I know about, so it's easier for me to demonstrate with you. So we want to use, if you have them, custom audiences or lookalike audiences. Now I cover this in detail in another video, but right here you can see this MBFB. So this is Miles Beckler, these are my Facebook, this is for Facebook, and it's an audience I set up on the 10th of November. Now this is an audience list, right? And what I can do here is I can exclude my audience list and I can include the lookalike versions of that. And what I'm doing is I'm telling Facebook that I want Facebook to give me the people who are most similar to my customers from the list I uploaded, but who are not the customers themselves, because I don't want to send more marketing campaigns to my customers. So this is set up perfect. Again, if you want more information on how to run that, you can go to the custom audiences video that I've got in the playlist. The next one I look at is locations. United States is set up. I'm going to go ahead and put the United Kingdom and Australia and our good friends up north in the Great White North of Canada. Perfect. And as you can see, my audience is growing a bit more here. I've got about 2.6 million people that I could be marketing to. Facebook has over 1 billion individuals, so we want to narrow this down. Now, I know that my target market for the personal development product I have are women who are aged 40 through 59. And this information comes from my use of Facebook's Audience Insights tool. It's a very valuable tool that I've done a full, actually 2 videos on that, so be sure to get that. I want to target this towards women because that's the data that I have that says the best audience of customers, and I want them to speak English, and I will do English all. Perfect. So now detailed targeting, right? So I've got my reach down to 1.5 million people on this ad set, but that's still too big. I'm not going to be running a very large budget here. I really want to get focused on the best people for me. So I'm going to add some of the personal development people who are leaders in my niche, like Tony Robbins. Because who doesn't like a good Tony Robbins event? So I put that in, and what does it do? Perfect. So now my reach is at 66,000 people. This is on the smaller side of what I will look for, but since I'm so targeted, right? I started with my custom audience. I've got it down by gender, by age, by location, and I know that they like Tony Robbins. This is a highly, highly, highly targeted audience for me, and I know they have a really high likelihood of liking my landing page, my product, and my funnel. So I'm going to keep moving forward. Just to give you a heads up, I really like to have a potential reach of about 100 to 300,000. If I'm doing broader marketing, I can get that upwards of 500,000 to 1 million, but really on the lower end, I really don't go much below 50,000 people because I can actually use up that whole audience. This audience would last me probably about 2 weeks, I would assume. Add a connection type. I'm not going to go with any connection types at all, and then that's it for my targeting, right? So we've got kind of the targeting here. I'm able to save this audience if I would like, and then I can easily access it later. You just click that Save Audience button. But for right now, that's not important. And it is, next we go to placements, and it wants to automatically place it everywhere it can because Facebook's interested in making money with the advertising. I'm interested in making sure that my audience, my best audience, sees it. The audience network is notoriously poor quality traffic, so I'm going to unclick that. And then I'm actually going to unclick Instagram. I'm not a fan of Instagram marketing yet. It's not something I feel is proven. And if you notice, when I unclicked both of those, I still have about the same size audience. So I didn't really lose anyone. Now on all devices, I am going to leave it all devices for right now. But just so you know, if you want to do mobile only marketing, which is sometimes a great way to focus, you can run a split test on this, which I cover in another video on how to split test your ad sets. But I'm going to let it run for all devices for right now, just to get as much reach as I can. Now we get to the fun stuff, right? The budget and the schedule. So we've got 2 options essentially, a daily or a lifetime budget, and you can run them theoretically about the exact same time or the exact same way, just a little bit of mental math, right? So if I wanted to do $30 a day, I just set it to $30 a day and it won't spend more than $210 per week. If I want to set it up with a lifetime budget and give it a turn off date so I can kind of travel and forget about it, I would set my start date, which is, well, it's the 4th. I'm in Thailand, so I'm on the other side of the date line. And 2 weeks from December 4th would be the 25th. Perfect. So this is a good example, right? Christmas is coming up. I see no need to run my ads on Christmas or Christmas Eve because most people will be gone. So I'll set that campaign to end at, let's do 8:56 in the evening on Monday, January 23rd. I think it's a great time. And since I'm doing 2 weeks here, $30 a day, 14 days, I'm going to jack that up a little bit more. I'm going to do a $600 budget, and I'm going to monitor this, and I wouldn't let it run without ever looking in on it, but I'm comfortable with spending $600 in the next 2 weeks here. We want to optimize it. We have the option for impressions. This would mean I get charged every time my ad displays, but I like getting charged when I get a click. I want to make sure they're actually seeing my landing page every time I get paid, so that's perfect. The bid amount, Facebook often wants to take control of things because they want to make it really easy to spend your advertising dollars. I prefer to go with a manual bid. Now it's giving me some what I would call crazy ass numbers. That's a technical terminology, and it happens often here inside of Facebook. But personally, I'm going to give them a bid of 75 cents per click, and that's all that I'm willing to spend. The way this works is it is an auction. And being an auction, that means that when they run out of advertisers at the $3 and the $2 and the $1 level, I'm the next one in line because that's where my bid comes in. I have found that I can often cut these numbers down in half or more and still get a quality click. Another note for you, I used Tony Robbins as an interest, right? I would have to say that he's a target, a very good target for advertising, and just about every advertiser in this niche knows who he is, so the odds are there's a lot of competition around Tony Robbins and being an advertiser, and I would be able to, I have a whole video on this, how to find more interests. I recommend you enter 30 interests and do deep research on this, because that's how you can get a better deal on your cost per click, is when you find advertisers, when you find targets and interests that no other advertisers are targeting, you will get the best price, because in the idea of it being an auction, if you're the only bidder, you get the lowest price possible. So it pays to do a lot of research in the Audience Insights tool. In fact, I'm going to link to the Audience Insight tool below this video because it's that important in the process. Moving right along. So I'm going to get charged when I get the click. I'm going to let the ads run all of the time. If I wanted to change the scheduling, I would be able to. I could say run every day between 6 a.m. and whenever I would like. I can take gaps in there if I'd like. I don't have any data that tells me the best time, so I'm just going to let it run at all time. So click that again. And standard throughout the day, that's what I'm going to run with. Another little trick that I have used before, if I'm not getting any traction on this within the first day at this price, I can go and accelerate my ad set, and essentially that just says, hey Facebook, when you run out of advertisers, give me all the traffic you can as fast as you can. But I monitor that really closely. I don't recommend, that's kind of an advanced maneuver here, so just to get started, leave it on the standard. And gives me an automatic ad set name. It gives me the countries, the fact that it's women, and the age range, right? So I can tell who it is. The one thing I'm going to add to it is Tony Robbins, since that's my interest, just so I can see my interest here. And I'm able to continue from this point. And that's it. So now we have our campaign, we have our ad set, and we are moving right along into the ad itself. So the first thing I'm going to do is quickly note that you can do a carousel. These are all the types of ads that you can do. I really like the single image ad, and the reason I like the single image ad is, or the single video to be perfectly honest, but you got to write a script and you got to cut a video, so there's a couple of steps involved. It's a great way to market on Facebook, but the single image is really, that's what 99% of users on Facebook are posting. So all of my audience, as they're scrolling through their Facebook timeline on their phone, they're used to seeing a single image post, and I want my advertisement to blend right in as if it belongs on their timeline. The more they feel it belongs and it's in place and it's tailored to them, the more likely they are to click. So that's why I use this one. Now for the imagery, there's no need to run any sort of fancy advertising type graphics. We just click on their stock image. We have access to millions upon millions of ad images from Shutterstock, and again, thinking like, what's my target market used to seeing? I'm going to put in happy family, right? Because that's why the grandmas and the mothers are on Facebook. They're looking at pictures of the grandkids, they're looking at pictures of their family and the kids, and they like to see these happy families, and that is my niche. My kind of promise in the realm is in the personal development realm is, that's the one for me, is live a happy and fulfilled life. So let's get some imagery that matches this happy and fulfilled life. Click done, and my image is now in. So here you can see, I'm going to move myself over here real quick, and Here you're able to see a demo of the ad that we're building, and you can see it in desktop. If I want to toggle it to see what it looks like on the newsfeed, etc., we can see that in the different places. And I want to choose my fan page that it's going to work with. I want my lifestyle design fan page. And you got to run it with a fan page. So if you don't have a fan page up and running yet, then you need to get a fan page going and make sure it's branded. And it doesn't need to be a big fan page at all. So I'm going to leave my image, my ad open there. And the next thing it wants is my URL. So designapassionatelife.com. I completely made that up. So if you, it knows I made that up. That's hilarious. So I will give them a real website. And obviously, if you're running advertising, you have your funnel in place, as we mentioned at the beginning of the video, so you wouldn't get that error. I'm just doing this for example's sake. So milesbeckler.com, it accepts that, and I am going to move down here. So next, we've got the headline. And there's actually 3 areas of text that we can really manage over here. And the easiest way for you to be like, okay, what am I manipulating? Just quickly write in test and click out of it, and it will update it. But the headlines is lower text, right? And then this is test 2. I'll just type that in here, and this is going to be the above image. And it's really important to pay attention and think about what text you're putting in what position. And that's because as your target market is scrolling through your advertisement, the way the ad reveals itself is from the top to the bottom, right? Because they're scrolling on it, they're scrolling through their timeline, and they'll see this portion, they'll see the top text, then they'll see the image, and then they'll see this. I love, love, love using a question and answer or a problem and a solution, because the question or the problem will help them identify in their mind if they connect or resonate with that. The image captures their attention and slows them down a little bit on their scrolling process, and then they read your headline, which is where you give them the answer or the solution, and at that point they're kind of ready to make a decision, yes or no, and just a little extra kind of frilly text in here, and that's the call to action that we need. Frilly text is a horrible, horrible phrase. Just some call to action text here in the link description. So I'm going to type this. Like I said, this is live, so I'm going to actually type this up here, and the headline will be Free Video Reveals the Secret to Designing the Perfect Life. And you can tell here, what I've done is I've actually taken up 2 lines. You can see that the life here is down on the bottom line. So what I would personally do is I would actually either add more text to fill up the second line, or I would pull out a word or 2 to get it all smushed up onto one line so it's neat and tidy. I'm not going to go through that process with you because I do respect your time, but just know I would not leave it with a big blank area here. I would either extend this line with more of a call to action. And I'll even just do it real quick just to not talk about it and be about it. Now I'm going to get the above text. Put a little heart in there. Let's see if it picks that up and registers it for me, because my target market enjoys that sort of thing. So what do I have? At the top, they're going to be scrolling through their timeline. They're going to see the lifestyle design kind of logo and brand on the sponsored link. And then they're going to see feel the calling to live a more meaningful and passionate life. The odds are their brain is going to chime in and say, hell yes. And that's exactly the reaction I want. It's got the little heart there because I'm targeting the women. And I think that's an icon that they're familiar with. The picture of the really happy family at the beach at sunset. Who doesn't like to be on a beach at sunset? And then boom, here is, so we got the question and we got the answer. Free Video Reveals the Secret to Designing the Perfect Life. Click to learn the more button to start now. I like get instant. Let's see if that fits. To get instant access. I don't want them to feel like they're starting now. To get access now. And I'm being a little meticulous with this here, but I think it's a good example for you because that's exactly how I work with these ads. I make sure that I'm using all of the space I can. There's no white space in here. And I'm going to leave this lower text. That's good enough for me. I may put a little more effort into cleaning that up and learn more. So here's the call to action buttons. And watch more would be one way to go with it. Perfect. Let's do watch more here. Free video since it's a video. And then I just obviously make sure that my call to action in my text here matches the call to action button, because you got to have that continuity. The little things matter. Now this is the link description here. You have the power and ability to create people live. So let's go ahead and tweak that a little bit. And the display link, we will go with and obviously I would match this display link to the link they actually go to. Facebook has been cracking down on this, and again, this is the display link I just typed in, and it needs to perfectly match the URL. No sneaky stuff. They used to let us get away with some sneaky stuff, but those days are over, so keep it on the up and up here. Now, a really important piece is your pixel tracking, right? What the pixel tracking does is it tracks people who see this ad and click on the button. I'm able to track, do they convert to a lead? Do they convert to a customer with my one-time offer? And I need that kind of metric because I need to know how efficient my advertisement is, right? I need to know whether my ad is working or not. I need to measure it because we cannot increase or make more efficient that which we don't measure. So if you need help with your pixel tracking, obviously I've got a full video that will teach you. It's actually like 3 or 4 videos. We go from beginner to advanced on how to get the pixel tracking installed on your website. So be sure to have your pixel tracking done before you run your ads. And honestly, that's it. We click place order and we have effectively started our first Facebook advertising campaign. So what's going on now is the order has been placed and it's in review, and they will bill me once I start to run traffic. And that's it. So in the time, it's been 22 minutes since I started this video, and I gabbed for about 2 minutes, and honestly, I wasn't being as efficient as possible in the process of creating the ad because I was communicating with you, trying to give you a little bit more insight in what I was doing. I'm not trying to speed through this. I want to help you get a full understanding of the Facebook advertising platform because I know how powerful it can be for you in your business. And I honestly don't care if you're just starting out as an affiliate marketer, if you've got your own products, or you're a coach and you're trying to figure this out on yourself. I can tell you honestly, you can. And I can also tell you that you're just one skill away from a multi-million-dollar business. I know this personally. I was taught this by Mike Dillard, a mentor of mine. And the Facebook advertising and the funnels are really that 1-2 combo that has helped absolutely revolutionize my life and my wife's life and our business. And I'm so happy to share this with you. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you very much for your time. Please give me a thumbs up if you like the video here on Facebook. If you have any questions about this at all, go ahead and leave me a comment below, but also be sure to check that playlist. And finally, subscribe to the channel. I've got plenty more of these marketing videos coming out to you. I'm happy to share what I know. I'm happy to share what's working with me now that we closed 2016 and we're entering 2017 and beyond, because you can do this. You have everything you need, and I wish you all the success in the world. So I look forward to hearing about your successes in the comment below. Thanks for your time.